Bless your heart. Let's be honest, when most Americans think of Africa, they picture one of two things. It's either a heartbreaking commercial with a sad song, or it's the Lion King. Lions, meerkats, warthogs, it's a beautiful idea. It's also completely wrong. Africa isn't a country. It's a continent so vast and diverse, it makes your 50 states look like a quaint little neighborhood block party. And right in the middle of all that glorious, misunderstood chaos is a place that will happily shatter every single one of your Disney-fueled expectations. That place is Botswana. You see, Botswana doesn't really care what you saw on a documentary. It doesn't care about your khaki vest with the 57 pockets you bought online. It's the quiet kid in the back of the class who turns out to be a secret agent with a pet crocodile. It's Africa's wild heart, beating to a rhythm that doesn't sync with your travel itinerary or your carefully curated Instagram feed. This isn't the Africa you think you're prepared for. This is the real deal. An unfiltered, untamed spectacle where the animals are the main characters, and you're just a confused-looking extra trying not to get in the way of a good scene. People come here expecting to find themselves. They've read a book, they've seen a movie, and they're ready for their big spiritual awakening in the bush. Botswana's landscape doesn't do subtlety. It's like nature's mood board, but the designer had way too much coffee and access to every color palette imaginable. One minute, you're in the Kalahari Desert, a sea of sand so vast and silent, it feels like the world's biggest library. You expect nothing, and then suddenly a meerkat pops up like a tiny furry maitre d' showing you to your table. The silence is so profound you can hear your own thoughts, which, for most of us, is a truly terrifying experience. It's beautiful, sure, but it's also the kind of quiet that makes you wonder if you've been left behind. Then, just when you've gotten used to the idea of living out your days as a desert hermit, you stumble into the Okavango Delta. This place makes no sense. It's a river that decided, you know what, I'm tired of going to the ocean. I'm just going to stop right here and create a massive, confusing swamp in the middle of a desert. You glide through its channels in a mokoro, a traditional dugout canoe, feeling like you're in some sort of prehistoric Venice, except the gondoliers are poling past elephants instead of overpriced gelato shops. The salt pans are another level of bizarre beauty. The Makgadigadi pans are so flat and empty they look like a screenshot from a computer that's crashed. It's the surface of the moon but with more baobab trees and the occasional confused wildebeest wandering by. Standing there at night under a blanket of stars so thick it feels like you could reach out and scoop them up is a humbling experience. People who go on luxury safaris in Botswana love to talk about how they're roughing it. They'll post a photo of a gin and tonic with a perfect sunset in the background and caption it, "Surviving in the bush." Surviving? My friend, you are staying in a tent that is larger and more structurally sound than my first apartment in New York. Your tent has a king-sized bed with a thread count higher than my credit score, an ensuite bathroom with a rainfall shower, and a private deck with a plunge pool. The only thing you're surviving is the difficult choice between red or white wine with your 5-course dinner. The daily struggle is truly immense. You're woken up at the crack of dawn, not by a screeching alarm, but by a gentle voice outside your tent, offering freshly brewed coffee and biscuits. The horror. Then you're forced onto a comfortable open-air vehicle with cushioned seats and blankets to protect you from the morning chill. Your guide, who can spot a leopard in a tree from half a mile away, then proceeds to find you the most incredible wildlife sightings while you just sit there, sipping your coffee and trying to work your fancy camera. It's a tough life, but someone has to live it. After a few hours of this grueling work, you're brought back to the lodge for a breakfast spread that could feed a small army. There are pastries, eggs made to order, tropical fruits, and artisanal cheeses. You're expected to eat all this while overlooking a waterhole where elephants and giraffes are casually having a drink. The pressure to enjoy this picturesque scene is almost too much to bear. Then you have to decide what to do with your free time. Will you take a nap in your air-conditioned tent, or will you get a massage at the bush spa? The decisions are relentless. The evenings are even more challenging. There seems to be a secret memo that goes out to every American before they go on safari. It must read, "You must under all circumstances purchase an entirely new wardrobe consisting of 50 shades of beige." People show up at the airport looking like they've just walked off the set of a 1920s expedition movie. They've got the zip-off pants that convert into shorts. They have the multi-pocketed vest, perfect for holding, well, no one really knows what all those pockets are for. Snacks maybe, a tiny foldable chair. The commitment to the khaki aesthetic is truly something to behold. It's a sea of tan, taupe, and olive drab. You'd think the animals would be impressed by this dedication to camouflage, but here's a secret. They don't care. A lion does not look at your perfectly coordinated earth-toned outfit and think, wow, that human really blends in with that dry grass. No, the lion sees a large, noisy metal box on wheels filled with pale, whispering creatures. Your pants, convertible or not, are irrelevant to the situation. And the hats. Oh, the hats. There are bucket hats, wide-brimmed safari hats with chin straps, and fedoras that look like they belong to Indiana Jones. People wear these hats with a seriousness that suggests they are single-handedly protecting their brains from being cooked by the African sun. Meanwhile, your safari guide, who has lived here his entire life, is probably wearing a baseball cap with a logo for a local cement company. He knows the secret. The most important piece of safari gear isn't your hat, it's a good pair of sunglasses and a healthy dose of common sense. The animals in Botswana are not like the ones you see at the zoo. These animals have jobs. They have drama. They have personalities bigger than any reality TV star. Take the elephants, for example. In Chobe, there are so many of them, they have the confidence of a CEO who knows the company can't run without him. They will block the road, not because they're mean, but because they're in the middle of a very important meeting about where to find the best marula fruit. And well, you are interrupting. They'll give you a look that clearly says, "Excuse me, can I help you? This doesn't concern you." Then you have the hippos. During the day, they look like a bunch of lazy, overweight rocks just chilling in the water. They are the ultimate social media influencers, doing absolutely nothing but getting thousands of likes, or in this case, photos. But don't let their sluggish daytime demeanor fool you. At night, these guys get up and walk miles to graze. They are the most dangerous animal in Africa, responsible for more human fatalities than lions or crocodiles. They're basically giant, water-loving toddlers with anger management issues and enormous teeth. Never trust anything that yawns that wide. The baboons are the neighborhood delinquents. They are smart, they are organized. They have no respect for your personal property. They will watch you, learn how your tent zipper works, and then conduct a swift and silent raid for any snacks you foolishly left inside. They operate with the precision of a SWAT team, and the only thing they leave behind is chaos and a lingering sense of being outsmarted by a monkey. They are a constant furry reminder that you are not, in fact, the most intelligent primate in the vicinity. There's a certain kind of American who comes to Africa with a checklist. Okay, today we need to see a lion, an elephant, a giraffe, and maybe a zebra if we have time before lunch. They treat it like a scavenger hunt, as if the animals are just waiting behind designated bushes to be ticked off a list. But Botswana doesn't operate on your schedule. You might drive for 3 hours and see nothing but impalas, which are beautiful but so common, they become the squirrels of the safari. The guide will call them the McDonald's of the bush because they're fast food for every predator. Then, just as you're starting to get bored and wonder if you should have just gone to Florida instead, the magic happens. You'll turn a corner and find a pack of wild dogs, playing in the road, rare and fascinating, or you'll witness a leopardess teaching her cubs how to climb a tree. These are the moments that aren't on any checklist. These are the moments that Botswana gives you when you finally stop looking for what you want to see and start appreciating what's right in front of you. It's a lesson in patience, taught by a professor with fur and claws. Another classic American misconception is that Africa is perpetually hot and sunny. So they pack nothing but shorts, t-shirts. They are then shocked to discover that in the middle of winter, a morning game drive in an open vehicle in Botswana can be freezing. I'm talking see your breath cold. You'll see tourists huddled under blankets, teeth chattering, wearing every single layer they brought, while the sun is still below the horizon. The African sun is powerful, yes, but the African morning has a bite that will humble even the most confident weather guesser. Before you rush off to experience this beautiful chaos for yourself, a few words of caution from someone who cares. First, the wildlife has the right of way. Always. This is not a suggestion, it's the law of the land. If a herd of 500 buffalo decides to cross the road, you do not honk, you do not try to nudge your way through, you sit, you turn off your engine, and you wait. You might be there for a while. It's a good time to catch up on that book you brought or contemplate your life choices. The buffalo are not in a hurry, and neither are you anymore. Second, beware the tsetse fly. This is not your average housefly that you can just shoo away. The tsetse fly is a tiny winged menace with a bite that feels like someone is injecting hot lava directly into your skin. They are attracted to dark colors, especially blue and black. They are also attracted to moving vehicles. So you'll be driving along, enjoying the scenery, And suddenly, a swarm of these little demons will descend upon your car like tiny winged pirates. It's all part of the authentic bush experience. Third, your guide knows best. Listen to them. If they tell you not to get out of the vehicle, it's not because they're trying to ruin your fun. It's probably because there's a lioness you can't see hiding in the grass 20 feet away, and she thinks you look like a delicious, slow-moving snack. So what's the takeaway here? Is Botswana a 5-star luxury resort disguised as a wilderness? Is it a terrifying gauntlet of grumpy animals and biting insects? The answer is yes, it's both. Sip a perfectly chilled Chardonnay on your private deck. Watch a life-and-death drama at the waterhole. Pamper you 1 minute, terrify you the next. It immerses you in its world, on its terms. This isn't a vacation for the faint of heart. It's for the curious. It's for the adventurous. It's for anyone tired of predictable, sanitized travel experiences. Trade cell service. Gain a connection to something much older, not through a screen, through binoculars and your own 2 eyes. It will challenge, humble, and maybe make you laugh. Swat at a tsetse fly in your ridiculous safari hat. Forget what you think you know about Africa. Forget the cliches and the stereotypes. Come to Botswana. Be reminded the world is still wild, and nature is still in charge. Recalibrate your sense of wonder, the silence of the pans, the roar of a lion at midnight. Strip away the noise of your everyday life. It will leave you feeling smaller, and yet, more alive than ever before. So, if you're ready for an adventure that's more than just a series of photo ops, Botswana is waiting. It's ready to mess with you, to awe you, and to show you a side of this continent, and yourself, that you never knew existed.